All right. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Welcome to day 3 of From Idea to Impactful Instruction, our final day of class. You've made it this far through class day 1, class day 2, and here we are on class day 3. We've got a full agenda for today where we're going to talk more about how to package up your course designs and your portfolios if you are an instructional designer or an aspiring instructional designer. We're going to talk all about those things today. So, super excited. I'm going to get right into the learning. I'm not going to wait too long. If anyone comes in a little bit late, that is okay. You will be able to go back and watch the replay from the beginning with the same link that you logged into with today. All right. So, let's go ahead and jump right into things. I've learned my lesson over the last couple of days to make sure that I change this first and then throw up my slides. All right, so you guys should be able to see that. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. All right. So first and foremost, are there any questions from day 2? If no, you can just say no in the chat so I know that we can just go ahead and move on. If you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat and I'll be happy to answer before we get started. All right, so no questions. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into our agenda for today. So we are going to talk about ways to create and sell. So yesterday we talked a lot about different tools and things that you can use for designing your online courses and some authoring tools. I gave you guys some examples of me actually designing using the various authoring tools. So we're going to talk about different ways that you can go about creating your content and selling your content. We're going to talk more about authoring tools. I'm going to give you some names of some different authoring tools that you can search and do your own research with to find out what may be the best for you to learn or for you to use. Same with learning management systems and hosting platforms. So I'm going to give you guys a list of learning management systems that those of you who are going into instructional design, if you are interested in going into higher ed instructional design, these learning management systems are systems that you don't necessarily need to know how to actually use. You're not going to know all of them. A lot of them are kind of similar and the same. So if you know one, you kind of know all of them, okay? But these are ones that you want to kind of familiarize yourself with when you're going into the field of higher ed instructional design, because they will get thrown up, or you will hear different institutions using various learning management systems. And we're going to talk about that. Hosting platforms, wherever you want your online course to live, we're going to talk about those as well. Packaging and offers, how to price your packaging or price your courses, how you're going to go about offering your course to an audience. We're going to talk about that. There'll be a full recap. So if you have any questions over the last 3 days, we can discuss that, and any Q&A. Recap and Q&A. We're going to go over all of that. And then I'm going to tell you about my course, all right? That is going to give you a deeper dive and teach you even more about online course creation, where I will take you step by step from beginning to end, all right? And that is the OLCCA enrollment, which stands for the Online Course Creators Academy, all right? So we will be talking about that at the end. So let's go ahead and jump right into the information. Let's go. All right, so here are various authoring tools. I've talked your head off about Articulate 360, which again, if you are going into the ID space, Articulate 360 is one that you want to get your hands on. You want to start playing around with some tools and learning how to actually design in Articulate. There's Squarespace, which is basically how you can build a website, but you can indeed host an online course using Squarespace or creating a landing page for your course. You absolutely can. Talent LMS is another one where you can actually go in and design a course through Talent LMS. Talent LMS is also used by corporate instructional designers to build content within the learning management system. So you may see that on the corporate side of things with instructional design. Docebo is another one that's kind of similar to Talent LMS, where you can go in and you can actually create the courses right there within the learning management system. Genially is another that does the same, but you can absolutely create an online course strictly with Canva. All right. So I know some people have their opinions about Canva, and especially graphic designers. They don't like Canva. Listen, Canva is saving a lot of people at my job right now. All right. Because I've been thrown into redesigning some training that was developed in Articulate 360 by a third party company. I did not design it, but I am, in charge of redesigning the content for it. And none of it was labeled correctly, none of the toolbars or anything, which I'm sure none of that makes sense to you if you're not familiar with Articulate Storyline. But nothing was labeled correctly. I can't find any of the assets, any of the things. So Canva is saving a lot of people's butts right now because I'm able to go in there and do what I need to do with Canva and then take it back over to Articulate and make it work. Okay. So, but you can create an online course strictly with Canva. Canva is like $15 a month for the pro version, which is recommended, but you can literally create your entire online course using Canva. All right. PowerPoint. You can also create webinars. You can create PowerPoint presentations, turn them into e-learning videos or not, or just sell your slides as the course. However you choose to deliver your course, whatever modality, that is completely up to you. But you can use PowerPoint to do the same. If you've got access to the Microsoft Suite, you've got access to PowerPoint. All right. So it doesn't have to be costly. All right. So some of these learning management systems are going to cost you a penny, but Canva, PowerPoint, Squarespace, you can make a landing page in Canva, so you don't even need Squarespace or to pay for a website. There's so many things that you can use, okay? Ways to create. Again, we touched on some of these things. Let's go ahead and get podcasting out the way. We talked enough about podcasting, but it is one way that you can create learning. On-camera learning. So when I showed you guys the example yesterday from the audiobook narration course, that is me filming on camera. It's scripted. I had a teleprompter in front of me, and I'm literally delivering the learning as an instructor-led course. You can do the same in front of the camera. If you do not choose to be in front of the camera, you do not have to be in front of the camera. You can just have an audio course where they just hear your voice talking through or clicking through slides. That is an option as well. Or it can be scripted audio. You can create an audio book. It doesn't have to be a course that people are clicking through modules. You can create an audio book that is going to go along with your learning. It can be in addition to your course, or it could be the learning that you just want to put out there on its own, but you can record your own audio book. All right. Same with an ebook. If you'd rather just write an ebook and offer it as a digital download, you can do that as well, and learners can get your information that way. Okay. So there's so many different possibilities and ways that you can do it. Also there in the right corner, you can host your class on Zoom. All right. So you can have a Zoom meeting, you can have a StreamYard meeting, whatever you want to do, where you're meeting synchronously one day a week, twice a week, whatever it is. And you guys are just all coming together and you are teaching them through a virtually led course on Zoom. All right. So, and you can do e-learning videos. So you can create e-learning videos in whatever way that you choose, whether you choose to use Canva or you choose to use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit your videos, whatever it may be, but you can put those videos together and package it and put it onto either a learning management system or a course hosting platform. Ways to sell. So some ways to sell are live webinars. I have been most successful with my course enrollments and course sales through hosting live webinars. I host webinars for free, hence the webinar that you guys are watching today. I host webinars for free. I give free information. You all should do the same. All right. So you want to provide that value we talked about yesterday. You've got to be able to have people trust you and know that you know what you're talking about. All right. So again, I am all about integrity when it comes to course sales. Of course, there are people out there who are going to teach you how to create online courses and how to get to the money and how to get to the bag. And that's it. All right. But that's not me. All right. I'm going to teach you how to be integral with your sales approach, with the information that you are delivering, with the community that you are creating, with your course designs, all of the things. So webinars is one good way to do so. Now, everybody, again, is not comfortable speaking or being on camera or hosting a webinar. You can have someone else run your webinar for you. So you can create the slides and create the information, but you can have someone else host the webinar for you, or you can pre-record your webinar. If you don't feel comfortable being live speaking with people, there are webinar hosting platforms that you can pre-record your webinar, put it on there, and then set the dates and times that you want your webinar to run, and it will automatically do it for you. So you are not sitting on camera actually seeing people react to you in real time. All right. So that's another way. You can also do with StreamYard here that I'm using. You can present a video, or you can put a video on YouTube and you can stream the video from YouTube onto your StreamYard webinar. All right. So you can have a pre-recorded e-learning video that's taking people step by step with whatever your slides are or your presentation is. And it could be voice recorded. It could be AI voice if you choose to use AI voice, or you can hire a narrator to do it and then just play the video on the webinar and you're done. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to be live. You can just sit back and watch the comment section roll. Okay. Facebook ads is another sure way that you can get sales. So I run Facebook ads for all of my free workshops. Some of you may be watching this from an ad that was on Facebook. Get into Facebook groups and post information about whatever your niche is that you are selling. You want to get in those groups and get in those rooms and sell to those people. Okay. But running Facebook ads, you could do it as cheap as $5 a day with Facebook ads to get traffic to your website or your sign up sheet or whatever it may be. And that can go directly to your course enrollments. It can go directly to your free class or your free webinar. It can go to a PDF. It can go to a website, whatever you want your audience to be led to. Facebook ads is a really good lead magnet for you to be able to do that. Word of mouth, of course, telling people about your course. Tell people, hey, I am hosting a course on X, Y, and Z. You seem to like that. You should join my course. All right. Or telling other people to tell people about your course. Using incentivization. So let's say you have a coaching group already and you are launching a new program. You can incentivize your current learners to help you with sales and create some sort of like referral code or a referral discount or something like that. Or some sort of offer to your current students if they help to get others into the program as well. Okay. Digital downloads. That's another way that you can sell your product or sell your learning is through digital downloads, whether it be an audiobook, an ebook, a PDF document. You can even create digital downloadable PDF documents that are linked to a website that gives your learners access to a course. Okay. There's ways to do that. So let's say you create a website for free, which I'm going to show you some different platforms where you can create quote unquote websites or landing pages at no cost. You can create those landing pages, put your course content on those landing pages, link that landing page to a PDF document, sell the PDF document, and then they will be able to access that link after they purchase your download. Okay. So there's ways around using hosting platforms. There's ways around using learning management systems. You could set all this up for free. Okay. It could cost you $0 to set up your online course and your online offer. Course marketplaces like Udemy. Udemy is a marketplace where you can put your course on there and just, let them bring traffic to your course. You don't have to really do many sales or anything like that. I think it was either yesterday or maybe day one where I was talking about Udemy and how you don't really have much control over your pricing point sometimes with Udemy or marketplaces like that. But it is an option. School is also another marketplace type community where you can set your own rates, set your own pricing for your community or for your course or for whatever it is that you're putting on school, your lessons. But it's a marketplace. So people go directly to the school platform to search for what they're looking for. So if someone wants some fitness classes or they want to be more specific with Pilates classes, they can go to school.com, search in the search box Pilates, and all of the people who are teaching Pilates classes on the platform will come up for them. Okay. So another great way to start and get your foot in the door with sales is to use a marketplace. Course hosting platform. So we just talked a little bit about Udemy in the marketplace and school. Teachable is my absolute fave. I've been on Teachable for 5 years now, hosting multiple courses, digital downloads. My coaching, my one-on-one coaching is through Teachable. Everything lives in Teachable. I absolutely love it, okay? Because you're able to do all of those things. I have an audiobook. I have an ebook. I have 4 online courses. I have one-on-one coaching. I have consultations that can be signed up for through Teachable. I love it. I'm able to, if I choose to, do certificates and things like that, but I do my own certificates outside of Teachable and then provide those to students who are taking maybe one of my live courses. So not only do I have the self-paced online courses, but I also am able to create a course shell or a learning portal to where I can just do the drip content in there and have people meet me on Zoom weekly for my live courses that I host. Okay. So Teachable is really great. Kajabi does the same thing Teachable does. It's the same thing essentially, but it's just another platform. The first course that I was telling you guys about, the dance course that I did that on Kajabi. So that is also an option. So is Thinkific. I'm sorry, I did it on Thinkific, not Kajabi. But Kajabi, Thinkific, and Teachable, they pretty much do the same things. Kajabi is a little bit different in a sense as far as usability. However, Teachable, Thinkific, and Kajabi pretty much do all the same things. YouTube and YouTube Kids, again, that is a free way for you to deliver your learning. All right. You can create e-learning videos, put them on your YouTube channel. I'm sure you're wondering, well, then I can't charge anybody to watch my content. Well, there's a couple ways that you can think about how you can make money on YouTube. You can, if you have a great audience or you have a big audience, getting the amount of subscribers that you need, getting the watch hours that you need for YouTube to monetize your content. That is a way for you to monetize your learning. Or you can set your videos that you put on YouTube to unlisted. And again, you can do the same thing where you're creating that digital download that then provides a link to your course. That link to your course is linked to a YouTube playlist. To now it's unlisted. So the only way people can view that content is if they have the link. So you're selling the link, not the actual videos. Okay. So another free way for you to host an online course. Portfolio design tips. So for my ideas, okay, let me talk to you for a second. All right. So screen record everything. Everything you do, screen capture it. If you are working as an instructional designer, everything you do, whether it's through freelance or on your job, make sure you are writing down everything you are asked to do so that it can be listed on your portfolio. If you are hired to do one thing and then you are asked to do another, you make sure you put that on your portfolio, that you've done the work. Now, again, you may not be able to use that information because it is under a proprietary lockdown through your job, but now you've got the skill to do whatever it is that they asked you to do. So I suggest that you go and you showcase that skill somewhere else on your own and on your own platforms, your own software, and screen record it. Whether you use Camtasia or you use Loom, screen capture everything. I was just having this conversation with a former coworker of mine that worked at the higher ed institution that I worked at. And I told her, I've got everything that I've ever done at that university. Any workshop that I hosted, any speak that I did in front of an audience, any meetings that I held with divisions or division meetings that I had to hold with faculty, all of those things were recorded. All of it. Okay. And all of it is on my portfolio. Okay. I've helped people set up their portfolios with content that has been recorded through, because this former coworker, I let her know, like, I've got everything you've done too. I've got it. Let's put it on the portfolio. All right. So screen capture everything, showcase yourself actually doing the work, get a 30-day trial of Articulate. If you do not know how to use Articulate 360, that is okay. Here's your opportunity to go to YouTube University. All right. There are tons of videos on everything that you need to know about pretty much anything on YouTube. Go to YouTube, learn how to play around with the platform, with the software. You can get a 30-day trial for free for you to go on there and play around and capture yourself using the tool. Adobe Captivate, do the same thing. Record yourself using the tool. Okay. Squarespace, again, a website that you can create and design your portfolio through Squarespace. But here are some free options for you to do. Notice that I'm giving you guys the free gems, the free game, okay, on things that you can do and how you can set all of this up at zero or little cost and then be able to package it up and sell it to others, okay? So for free, you can use Google Sites, all right? Google Sites used to be, you're not able to find it on the little waffle on Google anymore, but it used to be available there and it was called something different. I cannot remember what it used to be called, but it is now Google Sites. So the way to find Google Sites is to Google Google Sites. Okay, so go to Google, search Google Sites, and the website will come up and you'll be able to, for free, sign up, set it up, and you can create an online portfolio. The only thing you need to pay for is if you want to actually purchase a domain. All right. I haven't purchased a domain for my portfolio. It's been running. And I can go in there and I can update it as much as I want to, but it is not under any domain. It's just a link. Okay. But I can, if I want to, create a domain name later, but then you got to pay for that. But, and domains are not expensive. You can do a domain for like $12.99 a year. Okay. So it may be worth it to you to have your name.com as your portfolio. It's up to you. Again, Canva. You can create a landing page on Canva and create your portfolio in Canva and put all of your work and link all of your work in a Canva site. All right. With the Canva Pro account, I think they just released it to where you can have unlimited sites. It used to cap you at 3, to where you could only create 3 websites on Canva. But I've been able to create more sites, more landing pages on my one Canva account here within the last year or so. I have like 5 landing pages that I've created on one account. I have multiple Canva accounts, but I have been able to create at least 5 landing pages on one account. Okay, so you can do the same thing as well through Canva. You can create your landing page, put all of your work, all of your samples on that landing page, capture that link, and be able to put it on your resume. So I also recommend those who are looking to get into instructional design, design your resume in a clickable PDF. That way you can link your portfolio onto your resume. If you are an idea and you've been searching for jobs, I'm sure you've been contacted by a lot of recruiters, okay? Recruiters typically only ask you for your resume. They don't ask for a portfolio. However, in order to be hired as an idea, you need a portfolio, and hiring managers for instructional designers are going to want to see your portfolio. Okay. So the best way to make sure that it is accessible when they send out that resume to hiring managers is that your portfolio is linked in your resume. All right. Because what happens is you may send your resume and your portfolio to that recruiter, but they're only going to send your resume. So to make sure that that hiring manager can have access to your portfolio, go ahead and link it in the resume. All right. You can also create a free site through WordPress. I've never tried to do that through WordPress, but you are able to create a free landing page and free site using WordPress as well. All right, here are the learning management systems that I was talking about. So there's Blackboard. Blackboard is a learning management system that's used in higher ed. All of these are Canvas, Brightspace by D2L, Moodle. These are learning management systems that you are going to hear about on your interviews. You're going to hear about these on the job if you are hired at a higher ed institution. Even some K through 12 probably use Canvas, or I've heard of some using Blackboard, but the D2L Brightspace, excuse me, I haven't really heard of K through 12 using that, but Anyway, these are learning management systems that are used in higher ed institutions. So you want to make sure that you are knowledgeable about these systems. Doesn't mean that you have to have used them before, but at least gain some knowledge and understanding about them. Go to their websites, do some research on them, pull up some YouTube videos about Blackboard. There's tons of videos online. Brightspace, Canvas, Moodle, all the things. Be knowledgeable so that when you are asked questions, you are able to knowledgeably give an answer about learning management systems and how they work. Okay. Google Classroom, when I was gaining my certification in instructional design, we did a lot of work through Google Classroom. I wish I knew more about how to use some of the features of Google Classroom because I have not used it myself, but I am interested in exploring how to use Google Classroom a little bit more because it is right at my fingertips, and I'm sure it's pretty simple and easy to use. And I'm sure there's something that I could be getting out of it, but I've never actually used it for my own course creation, but I did use it as a student when I was gaining my certification. All right, so that's that, learning management systems. All right, so let's recap pretty much all the things that we've covered over the past 3 days. All right, so here were the key terms that we discussed. We talked about what is an online course, what is a subject matter expert, instructional design and what it means, learning experience design and what's the difference between that and instructional design, learning objectives, learning outcomes, assessments, engagement, chunking and drip content, learning management systems or LMS, accessibility, and authoring tools. All right, so we defined all of those things. We also talked about good SME versus good instructor or good facilitator, okay? Just because you are a good subject matter expert, you know your ish, does not necessarily make you a good instructor or facilitator. So with all of those key terms that we talked about, if you gain a little bit more knowledge and understanding about how to apply some of those things to the way that you instruct, then you will also be a good subject matter expert and a good instructor, and you will have a successful launch of your online course program. Okay? Let me go back to this really quickly and talk to my ideas again. All right, so we're talking to both here. All right, so when I talk about good SMEs, I'm pretty sure if you've ever worked as an instructional designer in whatever field, whether it be corporate instructional design or higher ed instructional design, but for sure in the higher ed space, you have worked with subject matter experts that are not very good instructors or have not developed a course or mapped out their course in the best way for learners. Okay. So of course, sometimes you bump heads. I see comments in some of these Facebook groups that I'm in all the time where they're asking like, well, how do I approach that conversation with the SME and let them know that they're not doing things right without stepping on their toes? First and foremost, I want you to be confident in who you are and what you do as an instructional designer, because a lot of times in these higher ed spaces, when we are in front of very knowledgeable people or degreed people or things like that, we kind of shrink ourselves and think, oh, well, who am I to tell this professor who's been working here for 35 years what to do? Okay. Sometimes you got to tell them what to do. Okay. You got to tell them what to do because they've been stuck in their ways for the past 30 years, and it's not the best learning solution or the best learning experience for their audience. All right. And a good way for you to respectfully communicate that to a SME who's giving you a hard time or you're not really getting through to them is to say, hey, I understand that you are a subject matter expert in whatever subject it is that you are teaching. And I do not challenge that. I wholeheartedly understand and know that you are the man. When it comes to that, can't nobody tell you nothing. But when it comes to teaching and learning, I'm the expert. I am the subject matter expert when it comes to teaching and learning and instructional design. So the same way I'm trusting that the content and information you are giving me to put into your learning is correct, I need you to give me that same trust and respect as the expert in my field, that I'm not going to steer you in the wrong direction. Okay? So just think about that. That's a good way for you to communicate that respectfully. You don't necessarily have to be as animated as I just sounded, but listen, I've gotten my point across and I was very much loved and respected at the institution that I worked at. Okay? All right. So that's just, just a little tip for you guys. We talked about establishing a course topic, how to come up with the best topic and niching down, thinking about the things that you love to do, the things that you're good at, the things that you could teach others, and the things that you could get paid to do. If you're going to get bored with it or you're going to get burnt out by it, then it's not what you need to be talking about. I was just thinking about this earlier today because, again, when I was talking about this miracle that I am working at my 9-to-5 in my corporate instructional design job, where they hired someone else to create content before I got on this job, and now it's my job to go in and fix that mess. Okay? It's a good thing that I love what I do. Okay? I love it. So it's fun for me. I'm having a good time. I'm stressed, but I'm having a good time creating. It is feeding my passion to sit there and try to figure it all out and perform surgery in articulate storyline. Okay, but it's because I love it. So it's got to be something that you love and that you're passionate about, because if those sales start rolling in and you start getting clients and you start getting customers and they're depending on you to show up, you can't be too tired to show up. You got to be ready and eager and excited about it. Okay, so make sure that it is something that you're good at and that you know what you're talking about and that is something that you love to do. All right, learning styles, we talked about that as well, and people being different in the way that they prefer to learn, whether it be hands-on, auditory, or visual, or in ways that they need to learn with accessibility. We talked about that as well. We talked about different learning models and learning principles. We talked about the ADDIE model, which is the most popular model of instructional design that most people follow, especially in the corporate field, but you can absolutely use the ADDIE model in your higher ed instructional design practices. ADCWIE, we talked about that as well, in adding in that create and write in between the analyze, design, implement, and evaluate. So it's analyze, design, create, write, implement, and evaluate. We talked about Gagne's 9 events of instruction, which, again, if you are more on the corporate side of instructional design, you can incorporate these 9 events in your hands-on training that you may be required to develop for new hires and things like that. This is a good way for you to kind of think about how you're going to map out your learning for team members. Okay. The ROPES model, we talked about that, which is review, overview, presentation, and exercise and summary. All right. So I told you that this is the model that we used in my certification program for instructional design. And we had to develop courses using that model. All right. We talked about measuring learning in Bloom's taxonomy. So you're absolutely going to use this a lot in the higher ed space, but anything that you use in the higher ed space, you can use in the corporate space. Anything that you use in the corporate space, you can use in the higher ed space. All right. So Bloom's taxonomy is how you're going to measure learning. Do your learners understand? We can't really measure that very well. Sure, you can use it, but it's very vague. So you want to make sure that any way that you assess is very vague if you are going to use a vague term. But if you want your students to remember or recall something, then you want to make sure that you are assessing them in a way that makes sure that you are able to score their recollection of what it is that you taught. Okay. And we talked about learning objectives and learning outcomes. Learning objectives, a clear statement describing what a learner should be able to do after full instruction. And learning outcomes are the measurable result of learning, demonstrating what was achieved. All right. So any questions that you have about anything that we have discussed over the past 3 days? If you are not watching us live and you're watching the replay and you have questions, you can absolutely email me at ericadawnvoices@gmail.com or erica@edvlearningsolutions.com, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. You can also type them in the comments of this video, and I will be able to see that and respond to you directly, because these videos are going to be going live publicly after we wrap. So I will be able to see any comments that you post, and the videos will be available for at least another week. All right, no questions. Let's Let's move right along. All right. So again, I told you guys it would not make sense if I'm teaching you how to create and package an online course if I didn't have an online course, right? So with that being said, you are invited to join the Online Course Creators Academy. That is my online course where I teach you step by step all of the surefire ways to create online courses. All right. So whether you are creating courses to go onto an instructional design portfolio, or you are creating online courses because you have a passion and a desire to teach others, and you want a way that you can make some extra money by packaging it up and teaching other people how to do it, I take you step by step in making sure that you are creating that course. By the end of the course, you should have a course, okay? So enrollment for my Online Course Creator Academy opens on Monday. So this Monday, enrollment opens. So class begins on February 9th, okay? So the enrollment is going to close. I believe I have the date that it's going to close on this slide or a slide coming up, but enrollment opens on Monday. It's an 8-week hybrid course, all right? So what I mean by hybrid, it's a blended learning approach. So we're not meeting twice a week. However, the class is twice a week, which means your assignments or assessments or your online learning needs to be completed by one day of the week when we are meeting synchronously on Zoom another day of the week, and that is Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm going to be running this course simultaneously with another course that I am running, which will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay? So what that means is Mondays is all your self-paced online learning, and it's due by midnight on Mondays. So any assignments that I give you, any assessments that I need you to take, any completion of just watching a video maybe, it needs to be done by midnight on Monday. And there will be a way for you to submit that work so that I know that it was done. You will have all weekend to do that after class Wednesday, okay? Wednesday, we meet together and we have a full conversation and a full review and more learning on top of that in our discussion about how to create these courses, okay? So it's 8 weeks. Here is all of the weeks listed here. So week 1, we talk about your course topics and your learning outcomes for your course, all right? I'm going to be creating a course along with you for you to follow along, because we're going to use that, the course content that I am creating will be used for me to show you examples on how to build upon it as the weeks go along. But you're going to be creating your own online course, okay? We're going to talk about course mapping, writing your course, your copy for your course, and storyboarding your course in week 2. Week 3 is dedicated to all things Canva design. So I'm going to show you all about Canva from beginner to advanced, okay? We're going to go all through the things. I'm going to teach you how to make slides. I'm going to teach you how to do recordings, and I'm going to teach you how to create e-learning videos in Canva. Your Monday assignment will more than likely be a few videos, because I want you to be able to refer back to those videos, because it's going to be a lot of information that I'm giving you on that Canva design, and I don't want you to miss it by trying to just follow along with me in an hour and a half live class. So those lessons will be pre-recorded for you to watch through so that Wednesday we can be hands-on, okay? Week 4, we'll talk about landing pages and portfolio sites. So I'm going to show you again a little bit more in depth how you can create landing pages by walking you step by step in tutorial videos, as well as how to set up your portfolio site. Week 5, we're going to talk about Articulate 360, Storyline, and Rise. So even if you are not interested in becoming an idea, but you want to just create your own online course, Articulate, again, is something that you can play around with, you can have fun with. You can create a web course using your free 30-day trial with Articulate 360, and it will live on, okay? There's ways for you to make sure that you are paying for a hosting site where you can export your Rise course through the web, and then you always have that web link. It's already done. When your 30-day trial is up, you don't lose access to that link. You just can't go in and edit or make any changes. So it just is what it is. But you can create a Rise, a really nice, pristine Rise course in Articulate, and put it on the web if that is something that you want to do as just a course creator and not an instructional designer. Those who want to be instructional designers, I'm going to show you those ways, but I'm also going to show you some storyline tips and some Articulate Rise tips in creating courses, okay? Week 6, we talk about course hosting and packaging. Week 7, design sprints. So now we're getting towards the end of the course. It's time for your courses to start getting wrapped up and actually get into some hands-on with actually creating those courses and packaging them up for sales. Okay, so we're going to do some design sprints and be actually building the course in week 7. Week 8, we're going to continue with course building, and you will also have an opportunity to present your online course to the others who are in the Online Course Creators Academy and showcase the beautiful work that you have done. All right. So again, this class takes place on Monday and Wednesday, starting February 9th. And it is a hybrid model. So we meet one day a week, and then the rest of the week is your online learning. Your online learning is due by Monday. Class meets on Wednesday. All right. Week 3 or 3 weeks post-course wrap-up. So after the 8 weeks are over, 3 weeks after that, I'm going to be hosting an online virtual course marketplace where you'll be able to invite your family, your friends, your Facebook followers, your Instagram followers, all the people, including my followers and my friends and family and everybody else who's in the courses, family and friends, or anybody who's interested in just, wanting to tap into their creativity. I want to learn a new skill this year. I haven't thought about it. I really want to try to learn how to make cupcakes. So I really want to try to do yoga this year or do Pilates. And guess what? If you've got an online course that are about those things, you will have the opportunity to come on stage and present your course and sell your course to that audience. All right. So I'm giving you a platform to be able to come on and sell your course to kind of get you acclimated with marketing and putting yourself out there. All right. Completely optional. You do not have to sign up for the marketplace, but it will be something that is available to all who are enrolled in the Online Course Creators Academy. All right. So to join the Online Course Creators Academy, the price is $11.99, a full payment, which gives you your best value, or 4 biweekly payments of $320. Now, we talked a little bit about when packaging your courses and things like that. I know you guys are probably looking at that like $1,100. You're right. Now, this is a really good offer compared to others who are selling online courses. All right. When you are creating your package and you're creating your pricing, you don't necessarily have to go low ticket. You don't necessarily have to go high ticket, but you need to give a respectable price and show the value of what it is that you are putting out there, because some people got it and some people ain't got it. All right. And I understand that. And I know that. All right. That is why I offer a payment plan. So if you are creating an online course that you want to sell, I would recommend that, of course, you have your full price that's showing some value with what it is that you are offering, but you also offer an alternative. Okay. So that is a tip that I'm giving you, to always offer an alternative, because everybody ain't got it. Okay. They just don't. It's hard out here for everybody. All right. So there will be a full pay schedule that will be provided in orientation after you enroll. So if you get enrolled on Monday, you'll have access to be able to join the course. Once you get into the course, you will have immediate access to your orientation and your week 1 lessons in Portal. The link for class won't be in there because I will drop the link the day before class begins, but you will have access to see your learning and your full curriculum of the entire program as well will be in there. Now, if you are watching this webinar, if you joined day 1, day 2, day 3, or you are watching the replay, or you are watching on YouTube, whatever it may be, you can go ahead and take full advantage of a 50% off discount code that I'm going to provide to you if you complete a Google form. So all you have to do is complete the form. You don't pay for anything with the form. It's free. Complete the form. Tell me that you're interested, and I will send you a 50% off enrollment code. Okay. So that cuts the price in half on both the full price and the biweekly price. So that means that when you enroll on Monday or up until enrollment closes, whenever you enroll, you can use that discount code that I provide to you, and it will take the price down to $599.50 or 4 payments of $160. So that 160 would just be a deposit that you are putting down, and then you will be invoiced for your other 3 payments bi-weekly after that. Okay? So take full advantage if it is something that you are interested in. If you are watching this video and you are interested in joining the Online Course Creators Academy starting February 9th, take advantage of this 50% offer and make sure you fill out this form. I'm going to drop it in the chat. It will also be in the description of this video. If you're watching the replay, don't worry because you won't be able to see the chat, but it will be in the description of this video. I'm going to drop it for you now. All right, there is the form. All right, so you can complete that form and I will get back to you with a code that you will be able to use on enrollment. If you prefer to have one-on-one consultations with me, that is perfectly fine as well. So I do one-on-one consultations on online course design, online coaching programs and how to set those up, or instructional design skills and portfolios. So if you are an aspiring instructional designer and you need a little bit of help here and there with different design skills and you want me to walk you through some things, I can absolutely help you. If you are trying to create a portfolio and you'd like feedback on your portfolio, or you'd like me to help you build your portfolio, I can assist you with that as well. You can send me an email to erica@edvlearningsolutions.com and tell me your needs. Tell me what it is that you are needing from me or desiring my help with, and I will get back to you with a quote and a way for us to get on a call, a free call, where we can discuss your needs a little bit further. Okay. So if you are interested in one-on-one consultations, erica@edvlearningsolutions, send me an email, tell me what it is that you need, and I will send you a link for you to get on my calendar for us to have a quick call. All right. So again, fill out that form. It's in the description of this video to receive a 50% off discount code on enrollment. This is for you to get in first. Seats are going to be capped on this course. I can only take so many, okay? But this is giving you an opportunity to get your seat first before I run an ad and the course goes live publicly. Once the course goes live publicly, the seats are open to any and everybody, okay? But I will not be making it public until at least 5 days after the shell opens on Monday, okay? So if you want to get in, go ahead and get in next week with your 50% offer, claim your seat, claim your spot, because starting next Friday, it will be open to everyone to join, okay? And once seats are filled, they're filled. I can't open any more seats, all right? So again, I will be running this simultaneously with another course. Oh, another thing that you will get if you are joining the Online Course Creators Academy, I forgot to create a slide about it. You will get two 30-minute one-on-one sessions with me, all right, for free. They are included in your enrollment, all right? So you will get, you can have a full hour if you choose. If you want to just do it all in 1 hour, that's fine. But my recommendation would be to split it up kind of throughout the course so that we are, you're getting that one-on-one attention from me about your course designs and not being distracted by others in the group. Everybody is going to get that 30 minutes. So that's 50 hours of online one-on-ones that I am providing to those who are enrolled in the course. 50 is the cap. Okay. So make sure that you get in when you can, starting on Monday. You can have that code, just fill out the form so that you can have access to the 50% off. All right. So again, if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat here. You can type it in the comments of this video. You can email me again at erica@edvlearningsolutions.com or erica.voices@gmail.com. And I will be more than happy to get back with you and answer any questions that you have. So again, thank you so much for joining the From Idea to Impactful Instruction with me for day 1, day 2, and day 3. I totally appreciate you for being here and being present. And I hope to see you all on the Online Course Creators Academy in a couple of weeks. All right. So thank you and have a wonderful night. Bye.